Hello, welcome to the live stream. It is Wednesday night chill out, chill stream. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and this is Untethered Live. Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing out there in IRL? That's in the real world. You knew that already, though. Sometimes I think I'm smarter than I am. You know how it is. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's one of those scientific things. How's everybody doing? How's the weather where you are? I am feeling froggy today, and I may just jump. For some reason, I have lost my voice today. I'm not sick anymore. I don't have a sore throat. Just can't talk. So, you get to hear me crackle and croakle all through the podcast. But that's all right. That won't stop me from flapping my gums. Who's with me? Anybody? Where's my Sasquatch at? I have one. Can't keep up with him, but I have one. He's a good Sasquatch. A little shorter than most, but still squatchy quiet enough. And he's got quite a pungent smell. A nice hot cup of coffee with me. And a nice article to read a little bit later on. We're going to do some more of that. It seems to be a fan favorite. So, articles it is for a little while. I'm just getting started. This will be an easy one today, but later on we'll tackle some more in-depth papers and stuff. I was looking for a paper today, but I didn't find what I was looking for, so I'm just going to read a little self-explanatory article about what we're going to be talking about. A little short article, nothing to it. And then we'll discuss, as usual, as per normal. There's that Caucasian Sasquatch. You're late. I knew you'd be here, though. I could feel it. Feel it in my bones. How are you doing this fine evening? I worked all day today just as hard as I could go from the time I got there to the time I left, and I'm tired. The little doggies is barking, but that's okay. I came here to see if I couldn't get a little kibble. Ruff. You're driving? Wow. Well, that's nice. You haven't done that before since I've known you. How you like driving? Are you legal? Do you have all your little duckies in a row? One day I shall achieve such a status. But as it stands right now, I'm stranded. But it won't be that way for long. By the end of the week, I'll have what I need to fix my ride. One of them, anyway. The other one, I think I'm going to junk it and buy another one. I left it at a mechanic shop under the impression that he was going to fix my truck and send it back to me and I'd pay him for his trouble. Apparently, it doesn't work that way because he's had it for going on 5 months and still no truck. So he's going to be awful surprised when a tow truck shows up to pick it up and I've sold it to the junkyard and he don't get no money. Because if he keeps it any longer, he's going to owe me money. He just don't know who he's dealing with. So where are you driving to, Sasquatch? The old existential question that's been with us since the dawn of man. Where art thou driving to, Pissed. Sure. You're driving, but where to? And that's the kind of deep subjects we get up to here on the Untethered Live podcast. Just so you know. We might even ask some serious questions like, is it in the city or in the country? Get existential on you. Are there any red lights? Or pedestrians? Ooh. Are you going to business or residential? Ooh. Radio or no radio? Man, the deep subjects we can come to. Well, said the deep mind in a shallow hole. Such a shallow subject for such a deep mind. Man, that's good coffee. I'm at the Jet in front of the hospital. Jet at the hospital. Jet is a convenience store like Speedway or Hess or Texaco if you're from that part of the world. Or if you're from up north, it's like a Love. You ever seen a Love? That's an interstate deal. It's a truck stop with a big heart. And then you get into North Dakota, and I've got the t-shirt to prove it. They've got a store there called Come and Go, spelled Cumngo. Come and Go. And they don't get it. They don't know why that's funny. So obviously, I bought the t-shirt. Had to have it. And I wore it proudly at my shows here in North Carolina. The old Come and Go. That's North Dakota for you, though. Irony, and they don't see it. I wish I had 2 or 3 of those t-shirts. I'd be selling them. And I'd sell a bunch of them, too, because it's funny. Come and Go. Hilarious. Oh, I just realized I've got a new sticker I wanted to show you. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. I'm back. What do you think about this? How about that for a sticker? Is that bad or what? Can you see it? Do you know who that is? Yeah, baby. My brother-in-law gave me this sticker today. I almost forgot I had it. I was kind of in a daze when he gave it to me, but isn't that not awesome? That's a great sticker. That's going right on my motorcycle. I love it. I didn't even know they made such things. And now I wish I had more. I don't know. I may just leave it like that and give it away one of these days to a lucky subscriber. I may do a drawing. I might buy some and do a drawing. Because I think everybody should have one of those. How do you like my nebulous hallway behind me here? The hallway that goes to nowhere but somewhere. Every now and then I hear something from back there just around the corner. It's kind of creepy. Talk to me. There's more than one of you here. Say something. I know there's a Kevin hiding somewhere. And my buddy News Now Carolina might stop by. He said he might. Well, he gave me a thumbs up. I assume that means he might stop by. I got a show coming up this Saturday. It's a spur of the moment gig that popped up out of nowhere. Fun. It's going to be interesting. It's a country gig, playing country music mostly, old country music, which is, in my wheelhouse. So I can do that, and it'll be fun, a little extra money. One more time for the badass sticker. How about that? It's a gift from my brother-in-law. I may order a bunch of these and give some of them away, because I know that some of my fans and friends would love to have one. All right. Where's the Diego at this afternoon? Diego ate my baby. Or is that a dingo? I made so many t-shirts today. I don't even know what to do with myself. Hundreds of them. I mean, from the time I got there to the time I left, it was non-stop. Pat, 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 pat. All day long. I didn't even take a lunch break. Just screen. Lots of t-shirts. Big old stack of them. I almost finished them, too. I was at about that many left when I got off today. I'll finish them in the morning. Caucasian Sasquatch, did you get your computer and your camera and all situated? I know you played with it for a couple days. Have you successfully streamed a video yet? And if so, where can I see it? Hey, there's an Alpine Gulch. I didn't know if I'd ever see you again. I'm glad you came back. Howdy. Finally back home and here with y'all. But that's the best place to be. Nobody's having more fun than we are, Alpine. Thanks for coming back. I didn't know that. I thought maybe I wouldn't see you no more. And we've had quite some interesting things happen since the last time you were here. Did you miss some good stuff? I had a duke out with another preacher that was preaching some crazy stuff. And I don't know that I'm done with that fight, but it seems to be abated for the moment, for the time being. We'll see. Hey, Kevin Cox. Thank you. Of course I'd be back here. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Caucasian says, I've been looking for you. Hey, what do y'all think about that? That's a gift from my brother-in-law. Kev, this is right up your alley, buddy. That's going right on my motorcycle. I'm thinking about buying some of those and giving them away. Do a drawing or something. What do you think? I think everybody ought to have a couple of those. Who, me? Are you Great Sky Troll? Whoa. Yeah, something has changed since the last time. Alpine, let me be the first to let you know that Great Sky Troll met his fate in an accident in the Alps. He was hiking and came across a nest of wild animals and was killed by a Sasquatch. Love it. Go, Donald. I am here, Squatch. No. that's what happened. And so Great Sky is no more. He met his demise. And this new guy that's in our chat is in no way like unto the old guy. Not the same person. I'm planning some shows here soon. I'm going to be filming and hiking and beaching. Great, just don't do it at 8:30. It was a necessary loss. Sad but necessary. Or necessary if you don't know how to spell. Jake, you are the man on this podcast. However, Squatch is our badass animal. Hey, that's fine with me. I mean, I'm a man. I don't know about the article the. Could be, but maybe. Anyway, today I thought I would talk about a situation that one of our recently visited guests has has a problem, and we're going to get to the bottom of it today. We're talking about Randall, of course. Randall suffers from a delusion called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and we're going to talk in depth about what that means so that you can look out for it in the future for other people. Well, I'm thinking some sunset streams, maybe sunrise streams. Yeah, that'd be nice. Except the sun sets around 8:30, so maybe a little before that, maybe a little after. Around here, it's still daylight at 8:30, so at least right now. Daylight savings time. Da 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 da. But yeah, a sunrise stream would be beautiful if you could manage it. I couldn't do it. I'd be dead asleep at sunrise. Sunset would be awesome too if you could catch it right. Anyway, you can't really film when the sun gets too far gone anyway because everything would be too dark. But if you have it facing the sunset, you might could get a good image of it and get that little green flash that everybody talks about. That'd be kind of cool to see. Apparently, just before the sun dips below the horizon, it flashes a green flash on some days, not always. And apparently, it's quite special to see it. We have a sports update. Rays are up 4 in their division over the New York Yankees, or Stankies. Tonight, the Rays are playing the Philadelphia. It is knotted at 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Go Rays! Love sunrises because I'm an early bird. Early birds catch the worm, too. I'm pretty sure I can stream from the upstairs porch. It should be great. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Get you a nice high position where you can see above the trees. That'd be lovely. I don't know what's ailing me today. I can barely talk. I woke up that way this morning. I don't have a sore throat. I'm not congested. I just can't talk. Weird. That's got to go away because I have a show to do on Saturday. Good thing I don't have to do a whole lot of singing, though. No trees, beachfront. Well, still, a high position's always a better position. You know, because the high ground and you win. That's just the rules. Ain't caught any worms in a while. Well, I hear you, dear. Me too. Can you say dry spell? I think it's too late. Ah, boys and girls, you want to be my neighbor? Got to dig for 'em. Dig for them worms. All right. So let's read us an article, shall we? Our friend Randall came on the podcast and was spewing some nonsensical verbiage because he suffers from a dilemma or a delusion called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The concept of the Dunning-Kruger effect is based on a 1999 paper by Cornell University psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger. The pair tested participants on their logic, grammar, and sense of humor, and found that those who performed in the bottom quarterly rated their skills far above average. For example, those in the 12th percentile self-rated their expertise to be on an average in the 62nd percentile. The researchers attributed the trend to a problem of metacognition, the ability to analyze one's own thoughts or performance. Those with limited knowledge in a domain suffer a dual burden. Not only do they reach a mistaken conclusion and make regrettable errors, but their incompetence robs them of the ability to analyze it, they wrote. What causes the Dunning-Kruger effect? Confidence is so highly prized that many people would rather pretend to be as smart or skilled as other people than to risk looking inadequate or losing face. Even smart people can be affected by the Dunning-Kruger effect because having intelligence isn't the same thing as learning and developing a specific skill. Many individuals mistakenly believe their experience and skills in one particular area are transferable to another area. Why do people fail to recognize their own incompetence? Many people would describe themselves as above average in intelligence, humor, and varieties of skills. They can't accurately judge their own competence because they lack metacognition. There's that word again. Or the ability to step back and examine oneself objectively. In fact, those who are the least skilled are also the most likely to overestimate their abilities. What is the double curse of the Dunning-Kruger effect? The Dunning-Kruger effect results in what's known as a double curse. Not only do people perform poorly, but they are not self-aware enough to judge themselves accurately and thus unlikely to learn and grow. What's the opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect? If the Dunning-Kruger effect is being overconfident in one's knowledge or performance, its polar opposite is imposter syndrome, or feeling that one is undeserving of success. People who have imposter syndrome are plagued by self-doubts and constantly feel like frauds who will be unmasked at any second. Sound familiar? Who is impacted by the Dunning-Kruger effect? The Dunning-Kruger effect has been found in domains regarding from logical reasoning to emotional intelligence, financial knowledge, and firearm safety. Why did they put that in there, I wonder? That's weird. I guess because some people think they're a better shot than they actually are. And the effect isn't spotted only among incompetent individuals. Most people have weak points where the bias can take hold. It also applies to people with a seemingly solid knowledge base. Individuals rating as high as the 80th percentile for a skill have still been found to overestimate their abilities to some degree. I guess what this is saying is be careful that you're not appearing to be smarter than you actually are. Or people, it's good to be smart but not too smart. Or maybe you could say it like this: be humble and constantly check yourself against errors. Science should be demonstratable, repeatable, and falsifiable. That last one is important. If you can't falsify your own theory, then it's not a very good theory. This tendency may occur because gaining a small amount of knowledge in an area about which one was previously ignorant can make people feel as though they are suddenly virtual experts. Only after continuing to explore a topic do they realize how extensive it is and how much they still have to master. This could be stated in another way: the most dangerous person in the world is the person who is just smart enough to not know they don't know what they're talking about. Just smart enough. It could be reversed, and you could say no matter how smart you are, you're only as smart as the second smartest person in the room, because anyone else in the room who is of lower intelligence than you will not get what you're saying. It'll go right over their heads. So you're wasting your air talking to people on subjects that they can't comprehend. Then you've got those people in the middle who understand the words you're saying, so they think they comprehend the concept that you're spewing. That's not the same thing. Knowledge and wisdom are not the same thing. They come from different sources. Why do people think they know more than they actually do? One type of overconfidence, called over-precision, occurs when someone is exaggeratedly certain that their answers are correct. These individuals may seem highly competent and persuasive due to their apparent confidence. They are often driven by a desire for status and power and the need to appear smarter than the people around them. Sound familiar? Why do people overestimate their competence? Overestimation, another kind of overconfidence, refers to discrepancies between someone's skills and their perception of those skills. People who overestimate themselves frequently engage in wishful thinking with harmful consequences. If someone overestimates their capabilities, they may take dangerous risks and overextend themselves beyond their limits, like an athlete pushing themselves to the point of injury. Why do some people believe they are better than others? Well, because some people are better than others. And this notion that we're all created equally is not true. If you think you're created equally to everyone else in the world, try to dunk a basketball in record time and see what happens. Try to fix an automobile. Try to do math that's beyond your scope of knowledge. You'll understand very quickly that some people have skills you don't have innately. Some people are just better at it. I can play any instrument in the world. I'm not very good at any of them, but I can play them all. And if you can't, what I do may seem miraculous to you. To me, it's just a pattern that I've recognized and I can repeat it. But to you, it may seem like I'm some kind of virtuoso because I can play more than one instrument. I'm not, I assure you. But there are people that could blow me away in any instrument that I play. And those people think the same way about me that I think about you in that situation, in that circumstance. So you see, there's different levels of intelligence and intellect and skill level. And by the way, the same person that could blow me away in math might not be able to tie their own shoes. So they might be overly good at one thing and not so good at another thing. You have to pick where you belong. It takes a lifetime to find that place sometimes. Why do people believe they are smarter or better than others, rather? Anytime someone believes they are more skilled or knowledgeable than others, they are engaging in overplacement. This form of overconfidence can lead a person to take unnecessary risks, e.g., driving unsafely, because they believe they possess superior skills in driving when they actually don't, when anything could happen. Overplacement occurs most frequently in people with low abilities who lack the competence to judge their skill level accurately. It is associated with an egocentric perspective of narcissism. How to avoid the Dunning-Kruger effect. To avoid falling prey to the Dunning-Kruger effect, people can honestly and routinely question their knowledge base and the conclusions they draw, rather than blindly accepting them. As David Dunning proposes, people can be their own devil's advocate by challenging themselves to probe how they might possibly be wrong. That's falsifying your own information. Individuals could also escape the trap by seeking others whose expertise can help cover their own blind spots. That means find somebody smarter than you and talk to them. Pick their brains, such as turning to a colleague or a friend for advice or constructive criticism. Criticism is key to scientific discovery. If you can't criticize yourself, then you are not doing it right. You understand? If your first response is to fall prey to the ad hominem attack because you can't win an argument rather than taking the criticism constructively, you are in the wrong. That's why people say the minute you call somebody a name, you've lost the argument because you're in the wrong. It's as simple as that. Continuing to study a specific subject will also bring one's capacity into a clearer focus. Do I have the Dunning-Kruger effect? Ask yourself, have you ever heard similar criticisms from different people in your life and ignored or discounted them? You may have experienced the Dunning-Kruger effect. Take a look at those areas in your life where you feel 100% confident. Acknowledge the possibility you might not always be right, and you might need to acquire knowledge or practice more. How can you fix the Dunning-Kruger effect? Question what you know and pay attention to those who have different viewpoints. Seek feedback from people you can trust, who you know are highly skilled in your area of interest. Be open to constructive criticism and resist the impulse to become defensive or to attack. Don't pretend to know something you don't know. Make it a priority to continue learning and grow. Even if you think you know the subject, go back over it. It won't hurt you, and you might learn something you didn't see before. Do smart people underestimate themselves? Well, I am a smart person, and I can tell you with 100% certainty that we absolutely underestimate ourselves, and we overestimate ourselves too. Yes, paradoxically, for many people, the more domain expertise they acquire, the less confidence they have. Experts have a greater metacognition on their particular subject. They know what they don't know, so to speak, and are able to see complexities that a person with only a little knowledge in that area would overlook. As a result, they tend to be more aware of any knowledge gaps or weaknesses they may have. This is called preparing your argument. That's what I do. I argue and I tear apart an idea and I check all the angles of it. And then, after breaking it into pieces, I come to a conclusion. That's how I know when I'm right. And when I'm right, I'll go to bat, but I'm not married to that idea. If you can prove me wrong, I will change my mind on anything. Why is that? Because if I were to say that I'm right and there's nothing you can do to change my mind, I would be suffering from the Dunning-Kruger effect. But because I'm aware that knowledge is finite and I have a little of it, and I'm also aware that I haven't even scratched the surface of wisdom, it's because that knowledge keeps me humble enough that I can question myself. Now, you're going to have to prove it to me. I'm not just going to lay down and take it, obviously. But if I'm wrong and you think I'm wrong about something, feel free to argue the point, and I will adjust my thinking accordingly. This is what Randall fails to do on a daily basis, because he suffers from those knowledge gaps and weaknesses to where he cannot see the error of his ways, which is why we had the problem in the first place. So, that was that article. It was easy. I hope that helped, and I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, Diego, there you are, buddy. Let me scroll up and see what I missed in the chat. April, hey. Boy, I missed a lot. Wow. Uh-huh. If Sasquatch shines or shits in the woods, but no one sees it, was it ever there? That's interesting. It is if you step in it. Otherwise, who cares? Amen. Assumption bias with an overestimation of one's capabilities. Yes, sir. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in a nutshell. Metacognition, says Alpine. Interesting. Learn something new every day. Is that the same as hubris? Yes. Hubris is what comes before pride, and pride is what comes before the fall. And if you had been here the last 2 weekends, you would have seen a person teetering on the edge of that fall. And it was quite entertaining. You sound like an Irishman. Oh, do I know? Well, thank you very much. Top of the morning to you. Hey, 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 says April. Hey, April. Hello, Alpine. Great to see you back. Yay. Alpine says, yay, thanks. You talked to mandatory carry, question mark? No, I have not. Or you weren't talking to me, sorry. I'm excited. So happy to see you all here. Me too. Me too. I enjoy it. I love it. Is he okay? Mandatory carry? He's in YouTube jail. Well, that's not a good place to be. Let's go break him out. Ooh. Elmao. Thanks. Great topic. I thought you might enjoy that. He tried to post publicly available information. Can't have that. No, you cannot. Especially if certain Wojcicki's are involved. Right. Who's the Kruger effect? It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a guy named Dunning and another guy named Kruger who wrote a paper in 1999, and I forgot their first names already. But they wrote pretty poignant studies. Dunning-Kruger effect. It makes better sense if you're drinking. That's right. Everything makes more sense when you're drunk. And drinking causes it. LOL. Yes, it does. I'm back, says Diego. Well, that's amazing. I'm front. I hope you received my pictures that took in Mexico. Yes, I received them, and Friday will show some of them, if not all of them. And there are some lovely pictures, Diego. man. Nice to see you again round here, says Diego. Well, you're getting quite a warm welcome, Alpine. See, everybody loves you. You made a good impression. Oh, my. Oh, my. All right. So that was a little article about the Dunning-Kruger effect and the guy who suffers from it. It's a good cup of coffee. And all I can say to that man is, wouldn't you like to have one of those, Diego? Maybe I'll send you one. So from now on, due to a poll that I took and got quite a good response from it, I've made the decision that on Wednesdays, I'm going to start the show out by reading an article of some such. We will cover any range of topics, and if you have a topic that you would like to discuss or hear about, just let me know ahead of time, and I'll dig it up, and we'll do something on that. Thanks. I got the biggest smile from y'all. Well, you are certainly welcome. That is what we live for. Did you guys see Trump's Save America U.S. ad? I have not seen it. Tell us about it. But if it's on the air, I probably will see it eventually. But tell us what it entails. Diego, I did a divorce today where I was the only person who did not speak Spanish. You would have loved it. Well, good thing it was a divorce. That's easy to understand. You. Money? Give it to her. You're divorced. You. House, car, dog? Give it to her. Kids? Sorry, I avoid propaganda in general. Glorious leader has a plan. I see, Caucasian Sasquatch. I see, and I call. It completely tore Joke Sloppy Biden to pieces and completely shows that Biden is incompetent and unaware. Okay. Mula no bueno, adios. Mula no bueno, adios. Got it. You're leaving because you have no money? Don't do that. Stay a while. Take your shoes off. Set a spell. Oh, interesting, Kevin. I could have helped. How good is your Spanish, Diego? I'm assuming that's your first language, so I should be asking how good is your English? That was my Spanish divorce. Yeah. Lovely. No money? See ya. I appreciate you, Diego. I do too. Diego is one of our smart ones. Mula is Spanish for mule. I think mula that you're referring to is Italian. I think that might be the confusion. Mula. I could be wrong. That's not my wheelhouse, but that would explain it. And I also think it's spelled with O's. Moolah, maybe. Mula, that's right. I think that's an Italian word. Either way, we got the meaning, and it was well understood and funny. And thank you, Diego, for the correction on the Spanish. I only know one thing in Spanish. Mi mejor papito es mucho grande. By the way, in the election, Biden got 100% of the Afghan vote. LOL. I don't doubt that. He got 100% of something that was not legal votes. I know that. Banned. You can't say that, Kevin. It's not mucho, it's muy grande. Okay. I learned Spanish from a book. I'm guessing that's not the right way to learn Spanish. I imagine it's probably like English in a book. Nobody talks that way. It's just the proper way of saying something, but nobody would ever say that. And the veterans of the Revolutionary War. Huh? That came out of nowhere. The donkey no good. And interestingly, Kevin, joke sloppy Biden has failed them. You have failed them. Well, you know, I thought it was funny when the news anchor asked him, so you don't think there was a better way you could have done that? And he was like, no, we'll look at it in hindsight, but I think we handled it as well as we could have handled it. And I'm like, well, there's one thing you didn't try. You could have let Trump do it. GAR. What is that? GAR and DAR. What does that stand for? That's an acronym I have not seen. Unless you're talking about a fish with a long mouth and lots of teeth. I think that's a different kind of gar, though. In other words, Alpine, the Democrats are pure evil. Well, she might be a Democrat. Slow down. Not all Democrats are evil, just the ones that are in power are. I know quite a few liberals that are very smart people. But notice I used the word liberal and not Democrat. Daughters of American Revolution. Gotcha. I have seen that before. I don't know why I didn't make that connection, but yeah. Yeah, there is definitely a thing that has happened on the left in America. I remember when you could sit down with a Democrat and talk. They used to call them Dixiecrats where I come from. They were hardworking Americans. They believed in freedom and freedom of speech and all the stuff we believe in. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just went way left. I mean, way as far left as you can go. Like to the right side of Stalin or something. I don't know what happened to them. They just went crazy. My wife is legacy, pedigree, as it were. I hear you, brother. She's one of them real Southern belles, huh? Why, I never. Twitter happened. I don't doubt that at all. I think social media is a very, very bad mind virus. I think it's made people stupid. And I think they allowed it to happen because I don't think they understood it. The people, to be sure, the people that created it understood it because they don't let their children have computers. This I know. If you find the guy who started Facebook, the guy who started MySpace and all that, their kids go to all paper schools. They don't even have computers in the schools. That ought to tell you something right there. She glistens, never sweats. She just hates it when it's sticky. Grand Army of the Republic, GAR, Revolutionary War Veterans. At least that's what it says on their grave markers. Yeah. Well, those guys were real men. Those guys were tough. Those guys knew how to take a licking and keep on a ticking. Ain't nobody in this generation knows a thing about that. Hats off, salute, and all that stuff to those guys. They fought for what we're whining about. Hey, there's a Larry Mercer. Good to see you, Mr. Mercer. The Bible told us the world was going to get worse. Yes, sir, and it absolutely is going to get worse. And worse and worse and worse. But then it'll get better. After the worse. We just have to be strong enough to survive the worse, and then it'll get better. If you get a chance, go back and watch the earlier part of this video, Mr. Mercer, where we cover a thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and I read a nice article about that. So if you're interested in that, and it's a little further back, but stick with us for now. Hello, Mr. Mercer, says the Squatch. Indeed, Larry, persecution is coming for God's children. Amen. Alpine says, in case you're interested, I'm a Republican. It's a Wyoming thing, eh? I knew you were. I just saying, just in case, you know. I wasn't trying to insult you. I was trying to protect your sensibilities, should they have been opposite of ours. Because I'm not trying to run a think bubble here. I'm not trying to have group think. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be open-minded to all possibilities, including the fact that liberals have intelligence. However, the new liberals have gone slap bastard crazy, and all of them. And I don't know what the solution is for that. Peace, as am I. Republican. I think we're all Republicans of some sort in here. The last guy that I would say probably was a liberal was probably Randall, and he didn't think the way we think. But I tried to help him. He didn't want my help, though. And if you get a chance to go back and watch Sunday and Monday previous couple of Sundays and Mondays, you'll get to see that exchange if you're interested. Caucasian says, I'm a constitutionalist. You're two of them? Alpine says, I appreciate your gentleman ways. Well, thank you, ma'am. I try. I'm a real man and all that, but I try to be sensitive and protective. And I think that real women want men to be protective. I don't think this feminist way of thinking is the right way. I think most women want men to be strong and protective and masculine and honorable, because a real man would never take advantage of a woman and would always defend her sensibilities. Even if she didn't have any, he would still offer. Even if he knew she didn't have any, he would still offer. That's the way my mama raised me anyway. I hope that's a good thing. And April says, yippers, 100%. I, for one, have about had enough of these frosted tipped, shiny fingernailed men with hands so soft that it scares me when I shake them. Thanks, Jake. Love. You know I love you. Sorry, I'm listening, but also eating a delicious barbecue beef and cheese with onions. Papadilla. Alpine says, agreed. I have spoken. Hear me roar. Meow. Sounds good, says Mr. Mercer. It does sound good, don't it? I ate a McDouble for dinner. 3 of them. I only bought 2 of them, but I got 3 of them. I don't know what a papadilla is, but it sounds good with onions and cheese and barbecue beef. So, are you guys, Alpine, are you guys into the Revolutionary stuff? Revolutionary War stuff? Like the Southern Bells and the Army men and all that? Because if so, I can read some articles about that in the future. There's lots of good, interesting information that deals with that subject. I'm just reaching, trying to find something you guys would be interested in. I'm interested in lots of things, but I can see the eyes glazing over when I get into some of my tangents, boring people to tears. So I'm trying to do things you like. This is, after all, your podcast. So this is public access television, supported by viewers like you. And I'll take all the kibble in my bowl I can get.
BJ, now I lay me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my
I got my own theme song.
If I die before I wake, VJ,
Jake, that's me.
my best friend, right through it all.
And I've been a good dog.
If I die before I wake, VJ.
Kibbles and bits and bits and bits and kibbles and bits and bits. Put some kibble in that bowl if you can. Next Wednesday, I recommend you read an article called Karl Marx Was Pretty Bad Person. Well, we all know he was a bad person because his ideology led to 3 million deaths in the 20th century. I might read some stuff on Marx because it seems to me that there's a Marxist bent going on in the country today from some of our dear leaders. And it might be worth examining to see, and Bacon too, yeah, to see why they might think that way or what may have pushed them into thinking that way. So I might do that. I might read some Karl Marx stuff. But I'll probably read some exposés on Karl Marx rather than something written by Karl Marx. I don't know yet. We'll see. Alpine says, yes, I love history always. I'll get into some history just for you. Starting this week, every Wednesday, we'll delve into something. This is, after all, the show about something. Coming to you, dear viewers. I'm collating a story. You're collating? About a vigilante revenge killer in Reconstruction era Shelton. Well, when you get done putting all the pieces of paper in order, let us know. Because that's what collating means. Referred to as the Shelton Massacre. That might be interesting. I'm not really into true crimes type things or fake crimes type things, but I do like me some Sherlock Holmes. So if you go that route, I might be interested. And I would be more than happy to read it out loud. Unless you want to read it out loud, and then I'd be more than happy to let you. bacon, 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 sausages. I'm a good puppy. One day I'm going to get my guitar hooked back up. Chords over there, guitars over here, sound devices over there. Sooner or later I'll get it switched around and I'll play you some more music. I'm trying to lay low because I've been getting lots of copyright strikes. I would like to hear about it, says Mr. Mercer. Oh, you got your first fan, Sasquatch. Somebody wants to hear about your massacre. Some people are into that Stephen King-esque type stuff. I'm not really one of those guys. I'm more of a sci-fi kind of guy, or like ancient history. I don't like history as it refers to the middle of history, but I like the old stuff. You know, anything from the Sumerians on back. And I ain't crazy about the Mayan history, but I do like it a little. It's just a little native to me. A little bland. There wasn't a whole lot going on in that era. There's a little bit, but we don't know anything about it. That's the problem. But the article that I recommended you read, excuse me, I got the hiccups. This article exposes Marx as a person. He was a disaster as a human being. I hear you. And I'll probably read that article, but I'm just saying when I delve deeper. Alpine says, I want to hear it too, Sasquatch. Me too, Alpine. I love history as well. I have historicis. You're not one of those guys, are you? Ay. Keep him away from all the airplanes. Hysteresis. He has hysterosis. That didn't help. I would like to hear it too, Squatch. Look there, you got you an audience already. Go on then. Hysterosis, a little sweet. Hiccup. Me too, Squatch. Damn. Maybe I need to write a book. There you go, buddy. You get it done and we'll put it and showcase it right here. I have an email full of info on it. I'm looking for old appropriate pictures for a slideshow with it. Maybe some old-timey tunes with it. What you need is one of those like Mississippi-style dobros, real slow. Yep, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, my coffee bit back. I got the hiccups. I'll recap the articles printed at the time. Cool. Is this a real thing that happened, or is it something you're writing? I missed that part. I'm guessing since there's articles about it that it's a real thing. I got you. Well, that is interesting. Where is Shelton at? One thing that I found interesting that I did look into, you know Jack the Ripper, right? Jack the Ripper was never caught, and he was responsible for something like 7 murders in England. But little do people know that just as soon as he stopped murdering in England, about 4 months later, murders in Texas started happening. in the United States that were identical to the ones in England, and they never caught that guy either. And some people have surmised that Jack the Ripper left England and came to the States and continued his killing spree here. And there is some evidence to back that up. Now that's interesting. As well as all of the fiction that's been written about that guy. He inspired lots of stories over the time. And nobody really knows who it was. Some people think they know. Some people think it was the Duke that was at that place at that time, or some royalty guy. But nobody really knows. They believe they know who he was now. Really? I hadn't heard. Who did they think it was? Did they settle on the doctor or the Duke? Or somebody new? Because there was a doctor going around performing medical experiments at that time that they thought might have been the guy. But they didn't have any evidence. To be sure, nobody's ever confessed to it. But there's a town in Texas that have big street lights everywhere. Like the whole town is lit up. It's diffuse with light. And the reason there's so many street lights is because of those killings. They believe it was a doctor. It was the doctor. So, well, maybe so. I don't know. I believe that about the Ripper coming to the U.S. Some say it was a woman. It could have been. The type of killing seemed awful personal and not something that a man would typically think of. I mean, they went for the womb and the breasts. You know, they cut women up. They were very unhappy with women, whoever it was. It's a terrible tragedy. Why anyone would ever cut something as beautiful as a breast. It's terrible. But yeah, it is entirely possible that it was female, and also that they came to America to continue because it was getting awful hot where they were. Slick Pete McCoy killed 13 or 17 men, but the Shelton Massacre was a Confederate unit that murdered 12 women and children, and one was Pete's wife. One was his sister. Well, Pete McCoy, any relation? You know, I'm related to the Hatfields and McCoys, one of them. I'm also related to Jesse James. His mother was my granny's great cousin. How about that? How about them apples? You like apples? How about them apples? Buddy the Elf is a high suspect as the Ripper. Ripper, really? Buddy the Elf? Who's Buddy the Elf? Is that guy that that Saturday Night Live guy played? Can't think of his name. Wow, says Alpine. Yeah, Jesse James's mother's last name was Johnston, and my granny's last name was Johnston, and then she married a Johnson, and then there's my family line. So she got married and lost a T. And as far as the Hatfields and McCoys, well, that's self-explanatory if you know me. It's the McCoy side. Yep, OMG, not a T. From Johnstown to Johnson. I suppose if you like your maiden name, that's the best route to take. If you must get married. I say nobody should get married. They should just find a woman they hate and buy her a house and be done with it. Hey, I might be on to something. I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm a lover of women. I just don't have very good luck with them. Walter, is that Sickert? Or, yep, Sickert. Walter Sickert was an eccentric artist who claimed to be the Ripper in later life, but he was mad. Alamau, too funny. Yeah, I get that sometimes. If women really wanted a man with a sense of humor, I'd be covered with them. So it's unfortunate that I'm a monk. Like Kwai Chang Kang, I just roam from town to town solving crimes with my kung fu. I'm not sure that counts against the issue of guilt. What, madness? Nope, if you're guilty, mad or not. However, it will suffice as a criminal defense. You can get away with murder if you're crazy, under some circumstances, under the insanity clause. But that won't help you in heaven. If you commit a sin, you've committed a sin. Crazy or not, here I come. Go sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here. Love is in the air. Aw, that's sweet. We have another sports update. Kevin Cox. The Rays catcher Jose Maria, just hit a 3-run homer. Rays up 7. Filthy Philadelphia down 4. Go Rays! Not Maria, Magia. 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 Bum. Buy me a house and I'll give you a cabin with no water. Hey, now you're talking. I already have a cabin with no water. Nope. He was claiming that he had killed all but one of the Ripper's victims. Said she was done by the butcher. I think it was Professor Mustard in the library with a wrench. It is pronounced Mahia. Well, thank you, sir. Thanks for the transliteration. Mejia. Jose Mejia. One day I'm going to come dressed in nothing but a sombrero, and I'm going to call myself Jose, and I'll be looking for Hose B. And if we can find a Hose C, we can be Juan Direction. That's a Spanish joke, Diego. Did you like it? I'm kind of proud of myself. I stole it from Owen Benjamin. This episode brought to you by Axe Body Spray. Power Raw. That wasn't smart. Hold up, Alpine. I'm totally interested in a cabin with no running water. Diego is pronounced D-egg-O. Are you sure? I think it's pronounced Ago, like Lego my ego. I think Diego's going to get mad at us if we keep making fun of his name. And he's the guy with the map, so we can't piss him off. That's a Dora joke. You got to be young to get that one. But are you single? LOL, JK. Who? Squatch or me? No and yes, respectively. That's Dora. Yep. That's pronounced Dor. Me? Single? No, I'm triple, baby. Ooh. Sleeping double in a triple bed. No, but my Squatch wife is very friendly. Ooh. All right, slow your roll there, Squatchy. Easy boy, easy boy. Ooh la la, ooh la la. Pouvez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? I think it's time for a menage a trois. Which is French for two and a trois. My middle initial is P. You pronounce the initial with my last name as follows. Peacocks. I'm sorry. I bet you didn't get beat up in high school at all, did you? Girl, you're looking fine tonight. Every guy wants his hands on your thigh. What you're doing with a clown like me? Surely one of life's little mysteries. Yeah. Clown in Spanish is pronounced peas hole, I think. Maybe. Clown in Spanish is pronounced peas hole or pea shoal. Pishol. Maybe. Ask Diego when he comes back. I don't know. But that would be interesting. Clown in English is pronounced a Kevin Cox. You know what you get when you cross a drunk redneck and a parakeet? I don't know, but you better listen when he's talking. You know what you get when you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros? Hell if I know. Dad joke of the year. Yeah. And to that, Caucasian Sasquatch says, how many licks does it take to get at the center of a Tootsie Pop? Charged with animal cruelty. Yep, I'd say so. Ask Dr. Madro, he would know. Okay, Alpine, tell us about Arkansas or wherever the hell it is you're from, Wyoming. What's it like? Are you in the mountains? I have an uncle that lives there somewhere, married to an Indian girl, real squaw type, very mean, Apache. Anyway, are you in the mountains? Are you in the woods? Does it snow a lot? Do you see elk on your front lawn? Tell us about it. Mystify me. And while you're doing that, hey folks, if you're new to the channel, how about do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be here. Leave a like. We need it. It's right in front of you. It's free. Just reach out and touch. Just touch someone. Just pull on it just a little. Excitable. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, hey, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solution, not part of their problem. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, concede. Hey, you concede. As long as you're thinking with that gray matter between your ears, that's what I want from you. Thought. Original and free from you. And if you like what I'm doing here, you just want to tip the musician, or you want to help me build my ministry, or whatever it is you would like to do, if you'd like to do it, won't you take a moment, go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps, and I greatly appreciate the support. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you, too. We live in a reciprocal universe, and God notices these things. And with that, I will round out the video. And don't forget, a little kibble in the bits. Okay. Tumbling tumbleweeds. I'm in the middle of a big prairie. Well, prairies can be pretty. I'd like to see a picture of it. We do a thing on Fridays where we share pictures. If you're interested, send us a picture. You can send it to my email address, which is, hang on. You can send it right here. JakeJohnsonBand@gmail.com if you're interested, and send us a picture of yourself or your surroundings, and I will put it in a collage video, a Ken Burns style video, and we'll play it, and everyone participates. You wouldn't be singled out, and it's kind of fun. We get to see each other and get to know each other and build our community and friendships that will last a lifetime. That's what it's all about. So if you're interested. Cabin is in the mountains, though. You have a cabin for real? That's pretty cool. I've never had a cabin, but I grew up in something similar to one. Also with no running water. It seems to be a recurring theme in my life. I like burning tumbleweeds. I've never seen a tumbleweed. I like the cabin I saw. What average rainfall there? What's the average rainfall there? Jake, that was a cabin. Yes, I know. It was a bunch of lighter knots nailed together and had a chimney in the middle of it. It's like they wanted it to burn down. When you build your house out of fat lighter, you're asking for trouble. That's all I'm saying. A house made of fat lighter cannot stand for long, but it stood long enough. It was a humble beginning, but it was worth it. Taught me a lot growing up in that environment. Rain? I don't know. Snows a lot. But that's chubby rain, isn't it? It's like rain, plus-sized rain. I don't like the snow. I guess it's all right, but I wouldn't want to live in it all the time. I went to North Dakota once in the dead of winter, December. Stepped outside to smoke a cigarette and like to froze to death. 7 minutes. Started getting tunnel vision. And like a dummy, I was in a band house full of band members who all were wearing noise-canceling headphones because they didn't want to hear each other snore. And when I walked outside, the door locked behind me. And I was in a robe in the dead of winter, which is fine for about 2 minutes. Then it gets cold. We're talking like 30 below zero or some shit. It was ridiculous. And there was a store across the street, and I was contemplating, can I make it across the street before I pass out? Or do I need to kick the door in? So I chose the latter and kicked the door in and went to Walmart the next day to fix it. Chubby Rain, LOL. That's a Bowfinger joke. You got to be Steve Martin to get that one. Snow works. I'm looking for a native water source here. Or there. Native water source? Why you got to be racist about it? Why you got to make it a racial thing, man? All water sources matter. What if it's an immigrant water source? Would you be as happy to exploit it then, Mr. Supremacist? I'm not a white supremacist. I am a white enthusiast, but not a supremacist. There is a spring coming out of an old mine and a creek down the hill. Oh, how quaint, sweet, beautiful. I'd love to see that place. I've never been to Wyoming, but I have been to Dallas and Oklahoma. Can't imagine it's much different. I saw a tree the size of my house that was hollowed out and chopped off at the nub. I think you could have put a roof on it and lived in it. I don't know why they aren't doing that more often in Oklahoma. I would if I lived there. When you got a tree the size of your house and it's hollowed out, put a roof on it and put some furniture in it. Free rent. Don't say OSHA. Mines are sometimes bad mojo involved with water. Don't say OSHA. You must mean by that the mines are dangerous. I can't spell OSHA. Really? I've had some dealings with OSHA. Used to be OSHA certified, not anymore. That was back in my construction days, back when I swung the hammer for a living. However, they always seem to be more of a pain in the ass than anything useful. Right, Sasquatch. Grew up drinking it. Might be a Mad Hatter. Are you saying there's mercury in the water? That's what drove the Mad Hatter crazy, exposure to mercury. But he was making hats. You're just drinking water. If it was affecting you, you'd be like the kids in Flint, Michigan, like with water on the brain. Can't do math and stuff. And that'd be lead poisoning. Which, I don't know what they're bitching about. They used to paint buildings with lead when I was a kid. And it was in the gasoline and in pencils, to which they forced us to use against our will for 12 years, a slave. I'm sticking with it. I'm not saying that it's likely But you can strike a match on your tooth. Interesting. It was a gold mine, so yeah. HZ and AR. Oh, that's chemistry jokes. Like it. Hey, you like chemistry jokes? How come Iron Man is called Iron Man instead of female? FE dash male. It's a chemical compound of iron, Fe, female. Get it? Iron Man, female. I'm just saying it's in the writing. She's not joking. Well, I am. Because he is hard. Yeah. See, I knew I'd get her. What is HZ? HG? I know what AR is. A long, dark, full of semen. What's long, dark, and full of semen? A submarine. Or a large black penis. Pianist. Pianist. What's black, white, and red all over, Sasquatch? Penguins in a blender. Or a newspaper. Or nuns once a month. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Lord, forgive me. You sank on my battleship. That's right, newspapers. I guess April's gone, huh? She hadn't said anything in a while. Diego's gone. Embarrassed zebras. And the award goes to Sasquatch for their best joke, corny of all. That was pretty good. All right, ladies and gentle Squatch. It is 10:04. So I'm going to watch Tucker Carlson and pass out. I got to get up and go to work early in the morning. Angry penguins in a blender. Good to the tummy. True. I love you guys with all my heart. I love you, true, honest to God, I do. I hope you come back Friday for some picture time. And Alpine, if you'd like to send us a picture, just send it to my email address. I'll give it to you again. Take a snapshot of yourself and send it to jakejohnsonband.gmail.com, at gmail.com. And we'll put it in with the rest of them. If not, then hope you come back on Friday and enjoy the show. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play some music. We're going to talk some nonsense. And we're going to prepare ourselves for Sunday morning at 8 p.m. April is still here. Love you all so much. Sweet dreams. God bless all. God bless you too, sweetheart. Thank you for hanging. Thanks for all that you do. Diego's still here too. Got to go pick up my sister from work. All right. I got to go get prepared for work, which requires some sleep. I'll probably get 2 hours of sleep tonight, but I'll try for 8. It's the nature of my existence. I might. Well, if you do, we will welcome it. And if you don't, we will understand. Some people like their anonymity. We're trying to be a family here, so you're part of that. So whatever. Goodbye, all. Have a good night. Have a good night, Sasquatch. Thank you guys for hanging all night and making my day. I enjoyed tonight. It was a good conversation, good article read, good first article. So we're going to do more of that. Trump has to come back, says Diego. Yes, he does. Good night. All be safe out there, Diego. Thanks for making me so happy, y'all. Thank you for being part of our thing. We enjoy it, and we're glad to have you. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Friday, 8:30 p.m. Have a great night. Peace out.